Autumn is in the air, and it is time for USL soccer action here at Starfire Sports Stadium in Tukwila, Washington, where tonight Seattle Sounders FC2 plays host for the first time to Reno 1868 FC since Reno joined the league this season. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined by Aaron Heinzen. And Aaron, this Reno team gave S2 trouble in the road fixture, and now they're second in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it's a chance for S2 to maybe get a little bit of revenge. It was a tough loss down there in Nevada, 6-0 difference. S2 have their hands full tonight, no doubt, with a huge offensive attack that Reno have. They have a very strong back line as well. It's a tough team full of confidence, sitting in second place. So S2 have their hands full, but they know what they have to do. They've only got 3 home games left before they have a 3-game road streak. So big game for them tonight, big opportunity.
Yeah, S2 looking on its quest to get above the red line. Let's take a look at the Western Conference standings for the USL right now. And Aaron, break this down for us a little bit.
Yeah, as I mentioned, 6 games to go for Sounders 2. They need the points just to stretch over past OKC or Orange County. Good thing is, as we mentioned before, they still play Colorado Springs. They still play Phoenix. And up at the top there, Reno 1868, just flowing with confidence. This is their 3rd game on the road. They won the last 2 against LA and Orange County. They have 1 more to go. They're on fire at the moment. So it'll be a tough team, a team full of confidence. But S2, they do have the players in hand tonight to make a difference.
Well, it's Reno 1868's offense that has punched it up to the 2nd place in the West. But their defense has been turning a lot of heads recently, including a defender who can contribute and a man familiar to Sounders fans, Jimmy Ockford, making the trip back to Tukwila.
That's right, Jimmy Ockford, 2014 Sounder, 21st overall pick by those guys, and he is the team captain here for Reno. Was on loan for the New York Cosmos for a while, has played at S2 in 2015, part of that inaugural season before he went out to New York. Very solid player, has 3 goals this season, scored 1 down in Orange County 2 weeks ago, and he's a big player here for Reno and will make a difference tonight.
Recent USL Team of the Week selection as well. On the other hand, the recent arrivee for S2 is the man we've chosen to highlight. It's the Australian Stephen White.
Yeah, Stephen White has been an incredible addition to this S2 side, a team that was kind of looking for a left back, and Steve White stepped in. John Hutchinson, the assistant coach with his connections down in Australia, brought young Steve White here, and he has been fantastic. His distribution for me and his ability to attack from the left back position have made a huge difference for this side, and hopefully he can get on the board here with a goal or assist, make something happen tonight for S2.
Well, the last match at home finished in a 1-0 frustrating loss for S2 against Tulsa, held them scoreless, and then Francisco Ugarte scored in the 71st minute. It finished 1-0. What has to happen for S2 to get a different result tonight?
Well, I spoke to head coach Ezra Hendrickson yesterday, and he said the guys just have to realize the benefits of what you can get for concentrating for 90 minutes. And we saw that game here at Starfire against Tulsa. They had some fantastic chances in the first half, and they played all right in the second half, but they had one kind of mental lapse, and it cost them the game. And so that's 3 points dropped there. It was kind of the similar story last week in Phoenix, where they were in it. 70th minute rolls around, Phoenix gets a goal, they drop heads a little bit, and then they have the big mistake at the end, and they're completely out of it. So, you know, if they finish some of those chances, if they stay concentrated for the whole time, they can get 3 points. They know this is the end of the season if they don't do these things. So 3 games here at home, then you got a very tough road trip. This is the toughest one of those 3 games. So if you get this one down, take another step and get another chance in the next week and 1 more, and then use those points, 9 points to go out on the road, you have an opportunity to be in the playoffs at the end of it all.
Like you mentioned, 6-0 loss to Reno earlier in the season. For a coaching perspective or for players, how do you go out there and motivate them? Or is the 6-0 scoreline enough to get you motivated to come out and play these guys at Starfire?
I think that, having watched that game, I think that was one of those deals where, you know, the wheels kind of came off at the end, and Reno is the type of team, if the wheels come off, they're going to take advantage of it, and they absolutely did. That's not the highest score they've even had this year. They've also won a game 9-0, so they absolutely can do it. You just have to stay focused. It was a road game. It was a tough loss. They put it behind them, and they're ready to make something happen tonight.
All right, there you have it. Kickoff and your starting lineups moments away here at Starfire Stadium.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records. with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We are back at Starfire Stadium, moments away from kickoff. S2 taking on Reno 1868 FC, and let's get a look at the starting lineups up first for the visitors from Reno. Aaron Heinzen, break this down for us.
Well, we mentioned Jimmy Ockford there in the back line. Of course, another man that knows the Pacific Northwest, Brent Richards, formerly of T2, a UW player. Matt Bersano, the backup keeper last year for Sounders 2, is the starting goalkeeper. And what's interesting to me for their attack for Reno is Chris Weehan out on the left-hand side. Guy takes all the free kicks. Very, very dangerous. For Mr. Weehan, he has 6 goals, 9 assists so far this season. So a very interesting Reno lineup.
Well, we talked about Stephen White on the S2 starting lineup, but a couple other familiar faces checking back into the back four.
Well, there's Rodriguez is back in there with Sam Rogers pairing up. Brian Nonasinkum getting a rest on the bench tonight. Denzo Ulysses finally back at right back here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Good to see him returning. Henry Wingo, a man who's last player to score for S2 there on the right midfield. And, of course, Zach Mathers, Felix Chenkum, and David Olson combining to hopefully put something in tonight for S2.
Well, there you have it. Teams have exchanged hands. Your referees in charge of tonight's festivities. Mike Hohenholtz has the center. Assistant referees Raul Sheeran and Robert Gilbert. Your fourth official is Kelsey Harms. And Aaron, we talked about Rodriguez L. He missed some significant time with an injury, but he has particularly bad memories of the earlier fixture this year. He was sent off.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the goals opened up. Picked up a second yellow card, if I'm correct, and he just after that, S2 go down to 10 men, and after that, Reno just took advantage. And, of course, everybody knows how many goals this team can score. 59 goals this season. That is number 1 in in the United Soccer League this season. So they absolutely can take advantage of you. But on the same side, they're pretty high up as well in the back line, and that's why they're in second place. So this team is on fire right now. But Sounders too, they have an opportunity. They know what they need to do, and it can't be any more direct. You have to get 3 points tonight. So I'm looking for an all-out attack coming from Sounders too. Take control of the game early, put your chances away, and they have a fantastic opportunity to win.
Well, we will see if Ezra Hendrickson's Sounders 2 side is up to the challenge. S2 in their green kits with blue shorts tonight, moving from right to left on your screen here in the first half. Reno in all blue going back the other way. Andrew Harvey alongside Aaron Heinzen for the call here tonight, and we are just about ready here. Aaron, you talked about this talented back line. You have a very young Felix Chankin starting at striker for S2. What does he have to go out there and accomplish tonight?
Well, Felix Chankum is one of my favorite S2 players. I love the way he works up top defensively. He can absolutely open up the back line. Reno will know about him, about his pace, his ability to score goals from almost anywhere. We've seen him score outside the 18. We've seen him pick stuff off in front of the goal. He's very, very capable, and a player that S2 are more than happy to have out on the field and healthy right now.
This is Chankum over the ball. David Olson standing to his left. Zach Mathers directly behind him. Referee Mike Hohenholtz blows his whistle, and we're underway here at Starfire Stadium. 90 minutes of USL action, Sounders 2 and Reno 1868 FC. Stephen White lifts an early ball off. That one looks like it came off the arm of Jimmy Ockford. And an early defensive error by Reno 1868.
Well, we highlighted Jimmy in the pregame, and you know, he starts out the hottest start for him.
He must have heard us. I think the nerves are getting to it.
Maybe just a little tough homecoming there for Jimmy Ockford, but huge chance already for S2.
Zach Mathers will be the man over the ball, known to serve in a pretty good free kick. Couple tall targets in the area, including Rodrigue L. There's the whistle. Spun in from Mathers to the back post and scored. I think that was straight off the foot of Zach Mathers. 1 minute in, and Sounders 2 have the lead.
Well, it couldn't have been a better start. I think that's the quickest S2 goal all year. Fantastic start for S2. And you said it, Andrew. I don't think anybody touched that. Really hard for Matt Persano. That's one of the most difficult things for shots for a keeper to stop. I've never played goalkeeper, but you see it happen all the time at every level. You see Mathers whips it in. Persano thinks someone's going to get a touch. It flies through the crowd, skips past him, and there's nothing he can do. S2 with a great start. 10th goal of the season for Zach Mathers.
And here comes Reno 1868, quickly pushing the other side of the field. Hopino tries to drop the ball back. Callum Malice deals it away, and Ray Sari does enough to get it out of his defensive third.
And that free kick, well, it was a mistake by Jimmy Ockford. That was just a simple ball by Steve White over the top, looking to find Felix Chenkum and a run that he was making. And that's the kind of thing that Chenkum will bring to this attack. He's on his own up there. The support from Mathers, Wingo on the right, David Olson on the left.
Well,
Needs to keep that active going. Excuse me, Andrew.
The crowd at Starfire absolutely electric after that quick goal from Zach Mathers, who is dispossessed there in midfield by Brenton Griffiths. Ball back to Ockford. And that ball intercepted by Henry Wingo, and now a handball courtesy of Wingo.
That's unlucky from Wingo's nice skill to bring it down. Just caught his hand.
Reno still on the front foot. The flag goes up for offside. Junior Burgos appeared to be the guilty party that time. Well, we often talk about goals can really change the game in the first critical 5 minutes, but when you score in the first, does this change how S2 approaches this game, or is it just a nice benefit to have?
Just a nice benefit. I think doesn't change a single thing. They need to keep up the pressure, get another one, try and put this Reno team away. S2 have absolutely been guilty of scoring, controlling the game for bits and pieces, and then, as we talked about in the pregame, shutting off, and that has cost them multiple times this summer. So keep up the pressure. Try and create things. Don't be reckless. I'm not saying be reckless, but absolutely put the pressure on this Reno side.
Reno won a quick throw-in on the far side, and then another. That's Brian Brown, 2 goals, 5 assists on the season for him. Just 5 starts, but not really out of a lack of quality on his part. It's just the man he's playing behind, Dane Kelly, is the best striker in USL.
Yeah, Kelly getting a bit of a rest tonight, but Brian Brown's an interesting one. Holds the ball up really well for Reno. Obviously picks out his passes, a creative player up top, but very solid. Able to keep the tempo, keep the ball for Reno up there. So, and of course, he can supply that final pass.
That time it is Brown guilty of the foul. Jamaican left a foot up high and caught a bit of Stephen White. Rogers going to leave this ball for Tyler Miller.
It's a big ask here for Sam Rogers and Rodrigue L. It hasn't been often these two center backs have played together all season long. Usually Brian Nanasinkum is in there. As I mentioned, he's getting a rest, so be a big test for those guys tonight.
Like you said, Aaron, Nanasinkum available off the bench if need be. That pass is intercepted. Hopino tried to link up with Chris Wehan back to the inside. Rodrigue L was there, and he cuts it out.
It's a good pick out by Wehan. You can see the danger he brings.
Now the ball over the top. That one gets post path. Brown and Rogers. Brown was offside.
Good tackle, too, by Rodrigue L. He had to get that.
David Olson checking in there with Callum Malice. Chenkum. Mathers over the top. Going to find Stephen White. White chops that ball back against Brent Richards. Malice looking for some space. Goes inside to Mathers. Mathers gets the ball past 2 defenders. Still on it here. Chankum back to Sari. Squared for Denzel Ulysses. Wingo making a move inside toward the byline for Olsen. And Olsen unable to do anything with the final ball.
Good play, though, from S2. Going at Reno in their own defensive third. Good switch of the play. Players looking to find each other. Zach Mathers working really hard to keep possession. So far, so good. S2 look up for this.
Henry Wingo slowing up, goes inside to Chankum. Chankum wanted to work the 1-2 with Ray Sari. Jordan Merle going to go long down the left side. Antoine Hopino running onto that ball. Hopino might have the speed advantage, but it'll be hard-pressed to outmuscle Rodrigue L tonight.
Yeah, Hopino, just another player to watch out for. 9 goals so far this season. It's incredible.
Ball won by Brown. To the left side for Weehan. And Weehan unable to keep it in play. Interesting to note that both Hopino and Brian Brown are former members of the Philadelphia Union. Their careers have taken them a couple other places since then. But always fun to note how small the world of soccer is. This ball won by Stephen White. White, quick inside for Olsen. Chankum on the resulting ball, tries to backheel it to Olsen. Nice looking idea from Chankum, just couldn't get that little bit of touch. Sam Rogers took that one on the chest. Wingo. Malice. S2 content to drop back, see if they can't draw Reno forward a little bit, give themselves some more room to work. Miller up toward Chankum. Sorry, wins that ball back. Inviting, looking through ball down the right side. Denzel Ulysses gives chase, keeps it in play. Swings in an early cross, though. Felix Chankum on the second ball. Now Mathers has it poked away. Malice stepping up, goes square to Wingo. Stephen White calling for it on the far side, but it's inside for Mathers. Short ahead for Chankum, but only as far as Malice. Will spin in another. That one dealt with by Richards. Brown displaces Ray Sari, wins the header. Now it's over for Hopino. Hopino looking for options. And he'll wind up winning a free kick courtesy of Rodrigue L.
That was a good tackle from El, but just catches the back heel of Hopino. Brings him down. S2 again, it was good possession for a minute. Just take a look here. Hopino has his foot planted. El just takes it out. Pretty easy call there for Mike Holmholtz.
Junior Burgos is over the ball. Camperino by way of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Ball in from Burgos, low and into the wall. Straight back to him. Chop inside for Luis Fernandez. Brown with the flick-on header. Served across the face of goal. Rodrigue L tracks it, heads it clear of the 18. Mathers further forward to Chankum. And Hopino, who dropped back on the set piece, dishes that one back to Matt Bersano.
Chankum put just a little bit more on that header. He had Henry Wingo in behind him.
Brian Brown flagged for offside for what feels like the third time in this young match. Second at the very least. And a little bit interesting to see on that set piece that it was Antoine Hopino who dropped all the way back to midfield, Aaron.
Yeah, a guy with 9 goals, you think you'd want him in there involved, but they've got It's a different lineup. Get some different players in there on the set piece. Switch things up a little bit. Reno's certainly capable of doing that. They have all kinds of different trick plays and corners and different things that head coach Ian Russell have come up with. Of course, another local connection here, former UW player.
Miller, risky looking pass out. Burgos ties up with Ray Sari. Sari comes away with it. We'll touch back on that in a moment. In the meantime, here's Henry Wingo. Side short for Ulysses. Mathers. Shankham squares up Mathers. Plays through for David Olson. Olson away into the right alley. Tried to go for the back heel. Henry Wingo's run was taking him inside. Now it's Burgos very quickly. Once again, Rodriguez L cuts the ball out. Felipe wins it back. Brian Brown, left side for Antoine Hopino. Hopino is inside the 18. He shoots and straight into the hands of Tyler Miller. Well, risky looking build-up, but in the end, they can't find anything to challenge the S2 keeper.
S2 players just need to be aware that Reno's going to try and catch him off guard, and that's the second time they've almost done that. Opino, that ball, his first touch just takes him a little bit to the outside, and he can't get a good enough angle on Miller, but a couple of times S2 midfielders have been picked off. And Reno is away right away.
Well, that's a hard-won free kick by Matt LaGrassa. Just got to the ball before Felix Shankham did. Shankham offering his condolences. Former Sacramento Republic player will pick his way to his feet. And we restart with a short free kick. Richards ahead for Fernandez. Fernandez toward the byline. Right-footed cross that took a deflection off David Olson. That's out for the first corner kick of the match.
And it's just an easy ball for Richards down the line to find Fernandez. Does well. Olson gets back. Good attack from Reno, though.
Junior Burgos to send in the corner. High ball toward the back post. Off the head of Jordan Merrill. Served back in by LaGrassa, away by Malice. Shankham gives chase. Hopino dishes back outside for Burgos. Immediate cross. Malice got an awkward foot to that, and Brent Richards slides and cannot direct his effort on frame.
Oh, Brent Richards was a forward at the University of Washington. Here he is. He scored one in a similar situation like this earlier in the week in LA. Just smashed it into the far post. He's certainly capable of scoring the right back.
Mathers outside for Shankham. Shankham squaring up Richards. Shankham to his right. He'll shoot, and that one fans off his foot. That's out for a goal kick.
That was good effort from Shankham. I thought for a second he was going to use that space and get it onto his left. Looked like he had some space there. Here he is, all that side, whole left side, get something and drive it across the box. But that's what you do love about a center forward, though. He's going to go for it. Just doesn't work out this time.
Well, it has 5 times this season for Felix Shankham, on the quest for number 6. Another free kick, that time won by Murrell, I believe. Or forgive me, that was Brown who was taken down by Rodriguez L.
Well, L's just got to be a little bit careful now. It's a couple of calls on him.
Ray Sari tying up with his man a little bit. Plays restarted in the meantime, which might have spared both players involved in the hullabaloo, a talking to from referee Mike Hohenholtz. Hard hit ball to the left side. That's kept in play. Hopino going to give chase. That ball looks like it might be bound for the touchline. And it looks like the assistant referee on the far side has signaled for a Seattle throw-in. We didn't have the best angle on it, but it sure looked like that ball had been kept in play.
Yeah, it looked like it looked like it did, but I guess Hopino was pretty surprised, but nonetheless, throwing for S2.
Run up to Chankum. Chankum goes down. Assistant referee is signaling for a free kick, and Chankum going to stay down and collect his thoughts for a second.
You can see a little bit of frustration from Griffiths. Chankum went down and gave out a yell, and then the flag was waved. Did make some contact, though.
Mathers quickly over to Stephen White. Rogers. Sorry. Malice going to take some space. Thought about winding up for that shot. Short for Chankum. Goes square for Mathers, and ball poked away there. One back by David Olson. Olson into traffic. Through traffic. Poked away by Richards. And out for an S2 throw.
Good effort from Olson. Just couldn't quite wind his way through all those Reno players. It's really congested in there.
Mathers turns and goes down. Ball's one away. This is Matt LaGrassa. Merle. Up for Hopino. And L, the first one to it, just puts it out of play.
Yeah, Denzo Ulysses got to be just a little bit careful there. His job as a right back, of course, be up high and in the attack, but a couple of times those passes have beaten him, and Rodrigue L has to get out there and cover for him.
Certainly this has got to be a bit of a challenge for Ezra Hendrickson in choosing what back four to field. This is definitely a collection of four individuals you would love to have out there, but a lot of them haven't played together, as you mentioned, and several of them are still working their way back into form from injury.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is a very athletic back line, though, especially the outside backs now, Steve White and Denzo Ulysses. They missed some of his speed on the right back when he was injured earlier this year, so nice to have him back in the lineup. He's just got to be a little bit careful. He's not caught up too high when they lose possession. Easier said than done. An outside back is always going to have to run a lot, but
Richards gets past Olson, poked away by Chankum. Olson and Chankum run into one another, but Mathers still on the ball, has Wingo to his right and now picks him out. Jordan Merle closing down Henry Wingo. Wingo to the middle, going for the left-footed shot, and that's just a characteristic shot of this Starfire turf.
it was bouncing tough for him right on the 18 and just couldn't get over it. Good effort, though, from Wingo.
Matt Bersano, like you mentioned earlier, also a former S2 man, waiting to put this ball in play.
Yeah, last year Bersano under Tyler Miller had 2 appearances for S2. Real positive guy, always talking and training, always keen to be in the action. Nice that he's gotten a good season under Reno and Ian Russell this year.
Just like Jimmy Ockford, Ian Russell, also no stranger to the Pacific Northwest. And that ball ahead for Brown. Brown to the byline. Pulls the ball back. Still has Rodrigue L in his face. Spins free. Sends that ball to Denzel Ulysses. L's clearance fans across the face of goal. Fernandez settles underneath it and shepherds it out. And the referee's conversing for a minute before they award Reno with the throw-in.
That's a good example of why Brown has 5 assists so far. Just able to hold up the ball so strong, get himself good position, put a cross in.
Sam Rogers won the ball out of that initial header. Chankum. Good touch to play in Henry Wingo. Sounders coming forward 4-on-3. 3 Reno defenders trailing behind. Wingo, he's going to go for goal, and he'll miss just shy of the left post.
Great counterattack from Henry Wingo. Just gets passed out wide right, using his speed. There's nobody absolutely flying right into the goal. I think everybody was kind of waiting on a line for a pullback pass, but Wingo just decides to go for it. It's an excellent effort from him. It's exactly what S2 need out of his speed. Take a look at it again. Getting his head up. He doesn't really see anything, so he's just going to go straight at it. There's Felix Chankum at the near post. Sari's at the 6. No one there at the back post. I think that was Zach Mathers. Nobody just making that direct run right into the goal.
As you predicted, Aaron, S2 stand right on the front foot. Once again, pull the ball away.
I don't really know if I want to mention it, Andrew, but we are getting into the time where S2 have been known to kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit.
Jimmy Ockford just took the foot off of Felix Chankum's gas. He'll go into the book as a result.
Well, Ockford hasn't had the best first 20 minutes of this game. Of course, give up the free kick for the goal, and then now has got himself in the book early on in this game, too. To be fair, he does get the ball, but also gets too much at Chankum.
Maybe a bit of a cause for just complaint, but somehow always finds a way to look worse in slow motion, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
22 minutes in here at Starfire Stadium. Sounders 2 have led for 21 of those 22. Zach Mathers scored directly from a free kick in the first. Malice. Henry Wingo. Wingo into traffic. Mathers onto the resulting ball. Shakes off a couple guys. Plays in Denzo Ulysses. Ulysses spins in a cross. That's off the back of a man. LaGrassa. Malice from long range. And he'll miss on the ground.
Oh, it's a good effort from Malice. We've seen him hit those before. Just doesn't get all the ball. Pushes it wide left. Again, good work from S2. Able to keep the ball, playing it in those tight areas. Excellent skill to get that cross in.
And when you look at S2 now compared to earlier in the season, it certainly feels like a lot of those second balls are starting to bounce their way, or they're putting themselves in a better position to get them. Do you think there's something to that?
Well, I think, like we talked about in the pregame, they're at the point where this is it. If you don't get these points here tonight and go with 2 home games left, I mean, you know, playing on the road in the USL is so difficult, you just don't know. But you've got to get the home wins. S2 know what they're up against, and I think they've got they've got the bit in their teeth at the moment.
I do believe Felix Chankum was thinking about going straight for goal as that ball came down from the sky. Meantime, it's Chris Wehan, short for Hopino. Hopino, a move on Rodrigue L. Whistle's gone. And Rodrigue L getting called in. And walked a little bit too close to the sun there. He'll go into the book in the 24th minute.
Well, there it is. Each side now has a center back with a yellow card. And Rodrigue L has been in this position before against Reno. Just got to be careful. You can't win every single tackle, especially some that are in midfield. You don't have to win those. It's great to be physical, great to put pressure on players, but got to remain on the field at the same time.
Jordan Murrell. Pass is intercepted by Malice. Chankum. Now Olsen back outside for Chankum. Foot race there. Couple Reno players collide, and it's cleared away by Griffiths.
Statement there from Griffiths, just get this out. It's a good read by the center back. Felix Chankum made an excellent run, but he's never going to beat Brenton Griffiths on that one.
Positioning, speed. The equation wasn't favorable for Chankum. Still, never met a long sprint that he didn't like. Stephen White pushed way up the field. On a track towards the center as Tyler Miller is waving everybody forward. He wants to knock this ball into contention and see what happens.
Yeah, S2 just with those outside backs pushing up the speed of Denzo and Stephen White.
L bouncing ball back to Miller. He takes it off the first touch. Mathers. Chankum had an arm extended. There was a moment's delay. Now there's going to be a free kick here. Looks like Chankum might have caught Jimmy Ockford up high with that arm.
Oh, Ezra Hendrickson doesn't like this call. Shevchenko got the arm across Jimmy's face. Call for a foul. Not much else you can do.
Fourth official, Kelsey Harms, going over to Hendrickson to play the role of peacemaker a little bit. David Olson steps in front of that ball from Richards. Still cleared away by Burgos. Sam Rogers completely tied up with Brian Brown there.
I'm not sure how that isn't a foul on Sam Rogers, to be fair. He's got him in a big, huge bear hug, but AR doesn't see it. The play goes on.
Like something you might expect to see in the octagon rather than on the football pitch. Brown, space for a cross there, and he's won another corner.
Now the Heat's come back into this game. It cooled off just for a minute. Tackles are starting to come in. Players are starting to press harder.
Burgos set to take this kick from the near side. High ball to the back post. Miller gives chase. He goes to ground. Ball goes over the end line. It's out for a goal kick. But you definitely saw Tyler Miller come for the ball, not get it. He's saying, where's my free kick?
Well, that's the same play that Reno ran last time. 4 players going to the back post. A long, loopy ball over Tyler Miller. And too much of a crowd at the back post for him to go for it. So Reno certainly had a plan.
Miss hit ball from Sam Rogers. Something that's become a bit of a rarity for S2 as the season's worn on. Very impressive. Watch the development of that young man.
Yeah, he's learned a lot since the very beginning and always looked calm and collective.
Sliding challenge from Rogers, and does enough to win the throw-in as well. Tough running from Antoine Hopino, but not enough. Rodrigue L clears that on the volley. Shankham gives chase. Griffiths gets the header. Zach Mathers going to get the second ball. Mathers looking to slow it down now. Chips to his right foot. Henry Wingo gives chase. He's going to go for the volley. And Wingo just a bit high on that one.
It's a great look from Mathers, though. He slows the play down, gives Henry Wingo time to make his run that back post, and as you said, Andrew just doesn't get the shot right, but what a ball by Mathers.
That's something that Ezra Hendrickson and the Sounders like about Mathers' skill set, ability to serve in a ball, whether he's in the middle or out wide, he can cause problems from all over.
Starting to see Reno go a little more direct here, skipping the midfield, trying to get something over the top of the S2 center backs. They recognize both Denzo Ulysses and Steve White are pushed up so high on the outside. Try and pick off some of those runs into that space. S2 just need to be a little careful. Going to need help from Callum Mallis and Ray Sorry to help out those center backs.
Through ball for Felix Shankham. Shankham and Griffiths in a foot race. Griffiths does enough to direct that ball to the outside. Shankham's going to give chase as it rolls to the far sideline. And it's kept in play. Shankham. Griffiths wins out. That was a great job tracking back. I believe that was Chris Wehan that came all the way back to keep that ball in play.
Well, Griffiths does a great job, too, just tapping that one away. Absolutely had to make that tackle right.
Fernandez. Back to Ockford. Now it's Reno's turn to try to draw out S2. Well, you talk about impressive runs of form, but there are a few times that the USL's really seen anything like this. 1868, just one loss in their last 13 games. They've won 6 in a row, Aaron.
Yeah, as we said, they're flowing with confidence at the moment. On a great streak. Still have a chance to catch Real Monarchs if they drop points. Those two teams do meet in a couple weeks.
Ulysses with the ball in the right alley. We've passed the half-hour mark here at Starfire Stadium. Ulysses, Mathers lets it run through. Malice. Couldn't really tell if he was going for a shot or a through ball there. But in the end, it's an easy pickup for Bersano.
Yeah, I think he probably heard the sound of Brown coming behind him or somebody gave him a shout. But threw him off his shot just a little bit.
Now we have a Reno player down. I do think that's Brenton Griffiths. He's gone down off the ball. Referee coming over to check on him.
Well, he had his left sock pulled down earlier. Wasn't sure what was going on. Maybe he got a knock on his leg or something, but seems to be okay now.
Must be wiping something out of his eye. Entirely possible that one of those turf pellets might have gotten up there.
Very possible. Very painful and difficult to get out when that happens, as everybody knows.
Oh, yeah. Hockford going over the top. Brown settling underneath it. Goes over L. Ulysses heads it back. Tyler Miller forced to take a couple quick steps, but he's up for it. David Olson wants the quick throw. He's going to get it. Stephen White. White retreats, goes for Chankum. Chankum realized he would have been offside. Griffiths. Mathers coming in, gets enough pressure. Not enough for the throw-in, though, and Zach Mathers kind of made it one of the staples of his game, applying pressure to a defender whose back is turned late on this season.
Yeah, good timing from Mathers. As you said, as soon as the player turns and has possession, he takes off. Seen him score a goal like that against the Whitecaps FC2 a few weeks ago.
Rodriguez L again. Sticking out a foot. Ray Sorry also potentially culpable in that instance.
Again, Rodriguez just reaching that foot in. He's got Brown there with help from Sorry. You need to stick your foot in there, you know, eventually get the referee's attention too many times, whether you really fouled him that much or not. It's going to produce a second yellow. He's really got to be careful. I think we've mentioned his name 4 or 5 times now.
L on the back line continue to try to fend off these long balls. There's another one headed forward. That's L sending it back toward midfield. LaGrassa. First touch throws off Felix Chankum. And his second finds Brent Richards. Richards collects his own rebound off Stephen White's face. S2, for the most part, defending pretty tightly as a unit.
Nice look from Ockford there. He just doesn't get the pass right, but just as the S2 back line was stepping forward, Ockford tries to go into that space to find Brown. It's just a little too far.
Mike Hohenholz giving a talking to Tyler Miller here. Just 34 minutes into the game, when a referee makes that run, it's only ever about time wasting. Kind of interesting. I don't think I've really felt like Miller's been delaying the restart that much, Aaron.
No, maybe just wanted to let him know he was counting, keeping track.
Griffiths wins the header. Fernandez up for Brown. Richards making the run. Stephen White intercepts. Given away cheaply. LaGrassa. Hopino. S2 managed to pull it away. As a unit, Aaron, what are you seeing out of the work that S2 is doing defensively right now?
Well, I think they're doing, I was about to say, a fairly decent job of pressing. Richards gets a bit lucky to get out of there. You can see Mathers. A lot going on there, but Mathers, Olson, they are absolutely pressing the outside backs, pressing the center backs, making sure they're not just having a lot of time to pick players out. It's been a good collective effort so far, excuse me.
Slight mistake there as Mathers got too much of Luis Fernandez. Richards goes backwards with the free kick. Less than 10 to go until a break, and game has really been pretty end-to-end, Aaron. Exciting soccer.
Yeah, these guys are up for it. Both of them have big stakes, especially S2.
Malice's pass is intercepted by Chris Wehan. Wehan chips over the top. Hopino gives chase, and Rodrigue L doesn't want to hear how that story ends. It's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, smart move by L. Just get rid of it, let his team get back. Malice just has to be a little careful there. A couple times some square passes have been given away.
This is Hopino. Poked away by L. Hopino goes to ground. Ray Sari carries out. Shankham still not able to turn. Richards past Olsen. Reno reset. LaGrassa over the left side looking for Jordan Merle. Ulysses gives chase. Ulysses first one to it. He's claiming he was fouled. That ball's gone out, and it's going to be a corner.
Good coverage from Ulysses. Ball just over his shoulders. A good ball as well. Tough to see from that angle. Mo might have gotten there first, but corner for Reno nonetheless. Looks like some pushing and shoving in the box too. Seen a lot of referees stop this year, Andrew.
And I've seen it multiple levels too, college, high school. Really does seem like this is a point of emphasis that they'd like to remove from the game. Ball in from the far side, toward goal. That one goes down. It winds up in the back of the net, and Reno have found an equalizer in the 38th minute. In the melee, we couldn't quite tell who punched that in, but it looked like it might have been Jordan Merle.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I cannot tell. Here's the ball in. Miller's in there. Actually looked like
Brian Brown.
Brian Brown, yep.
Third goal of the season for him, and it comes at a big moment. There's not enough tight defending on that near post.
Now it's an awkward ball for Tyler Miller. It's first time Reno have whipped something in. The last two were just high and loopy at the back post. They switch it up. Burgos puts this right in the center. I feel Miller probably needs to get his hands on that or punch it away, or somebody needs to take direction there. His head height. Brown's able to get his body in there and put one away for Reno.
The goal by Brown, his first since August 12th. Shankham can't turn that ball. Sam Rogers unable to get on the resulting header. Olsen, Mathers back for Olsen. Richards cleans it up. Callum Malice is down shy of midfield. And referee Mike Hohenholtz going to wave for the trainers here. But all of a sudden, this is a game that S2 looked confident and competent defending their lead and wind up giving up a goal on a near post corner kick.
Well, it's another moment of just maybe lack of communication for a second. It wasn't punched out. Maybe the defender could have got a head on it. It's tough to say, but again, Sounders too coming out with a cracking start. Reno cover the pressure a few minutes after that. They're able to play themselves back into the game, and now they've nicked a goal just before halftime.
And we are seeing Lorenzo Ramos put on his kit on the far sideline. It looks like Callum Malice's night might be over.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding on to his thigh or something like that. It's tough really to tell, but yeah, he's definitely done. He's walking straight to the bench. It's a tough loss there to lose Callum Malice, like that calming, present, veteran player there for so many years with Montreal. Of course, Lorenzo Ramos, no stranger to the USL and S2. A little bit younger, but can certainly play this role in the inside midfield.
3 assists to his name this season. He'll check in and resume partnership with Ray Sari as Denzo Ulysses throws into Henry Wingo.
Of course, worth mentioning for Francisco Narbone, not in the 18 tonight. I think he'd be the natural player to slot in there. But Lorenzo Ramos played that position many a times for USL in the past few years.
Entering is number 31, Lorenzo Ramos.
Ball out of play. Another S2 throw-in. Zach Mathers looks like he wants this, but they're going to leave it for Denzo. 41st minute here. Thrown into Wingo. Back for Ulysses. Cleared away. Brian Brown. He gets a step on Sam Rogers. Brian Brown. Tyler Miller. Blast that into Brown. Brown gives chase, and it goes out the far sideline.
Quick thinking by Tyler Miller off his line like a keeper should be in that position. Nice job. I wasn't sure he was going to get there before Brian Brown, but well done by Tyler Miller. Brown. Doesn't look like he's going to be the fastest player, but shows some good speed here. Here it is again. Just get in front of Rogers. He almost gets away with that. Nice effort by Brown.
Ball intercepted quickly back to Brown. Ahead for Hopino. Hopino is in here to the byline. Cut back cross. Tyler Miller saves, and the second effort lifted over the bar. But Hopino linked up quickly with Chris Wehan, and Luis Fernandez couldn't finish off the rebound.
That's great attack there from Reno. Nice link again. Brown holds it up very, very well. Just slips in Hopino. Hopino puts it across, and Tyler Miller comes up with a huge save. Here it is again. Wehan straight into Miller. This one over the top. Fernandez knows he's missed a big chance. Always difficult with White running right in his face, but again, Reno looking dangerous.
Well, a stop like that's momentous at any point in the game, but especially at a 1-1 level score, 3 minutes and change until the break, Aaron. That has to be big for S2.
Yeah, 2 goals in quick succession like that before halftime can be really difficult. Mentally, S2 just need to keep their composure. Of course, they've been here before a couple of times, and there's got to be that specter in the back of your mind saying, can you come out of this? Can we get some points against this side that has been so consistent so far in this part of the season?
Jimmy Ockford whistled full of foul in the air against Felix Chankum, and just like we talked about with Rodrigue L., Ockford will have to be a little bit cautious as well. He was booked earlier. Sorry, Wingo. Outside for Stephen White. White going for the early cross to the foot of David Olson. Olson with some space. He turns, he fires, it's deflected. Brown collects the follow-up. Square to Richards. But even that, once again, we talked about the quality of Stephen White to serve that ball to the foot of David Olson. I don't think even Olson was expecting that ball to come to him.
Well, I thought he was going to go down the line myself, but he picked him out perfectly.
Burgos going through for Hopino. Tyler Miller off the ground, spills the rebound, and Sam Rogers deals it away.
And quick thinking by Miller, he had to be there.
Ulysses heads that one behind Merle. It's out for a Reno throw-in. Quickly taken. Hopino backing up L, ball toward the end line. Hopino goes to ground, and that'll be a free kick for S2.
Well, Hopino is shaking his head after that turn on L. I think there may have been a little bit of butterflies in the stomach there for S2. Referee calls it a foul on on Hopino.
Long ball away from Miller. Merle wins the header. Play back to Miller. We're being told we can expect 2 minutes of added time. Miller to the near side for Stephen White. Olson. And we tick over into the first of those 2 minutes right now. 1-1 between Sounders 2 and Reno 1868. Here's Denzo Ulysses. His pass is intercepted. It's going to fall for Ray Sari. Sari. Wide for Stephen White. White immediately crosses in straight into Luis Fernandez and wins a corner for S2.
Big opportunity here for S2. Of course, corner kick last few minutes of the first half, pull something back now and get the momentum into halftime.
Ball in for Mathers. Headed up in the air by Brian Brown. Ray Sari settles underneath it. Sari. Shrugging off Chris Wehan. Ramos spins one to the far side of the field. Henry Wingo. That Persona goes up, doesn't get to it. Knocked away by Brown. S2 trying to stay on the front foot.
Now that cross was always going to be a keeper's cross, pretty high. David Olson's going to have a tough time out jumping Matt Persano for that. Almost got there.
Ball held up in the air. Wingo couldn't get to it. Now it's Hopino. Left side for Burgos. Sam Rogers is there. Up to Wingo. Inside for Sari. Sari lets it go for Mathers. Mathers wanted to go through for David Olson. Olson had other ideas. Chases down his own through ball. Has he done enough to win a throw-in? He has.
Great effort from Zach Mathers.
Back for White. And the back pass will end the attacking opportunity. The whistle goes for halftime. Well, Sounders 2 led for 37 of the first 38 minutes, but then Brian Brown smashed in the equalizer.
Great start from S2. Like you said, Andrew, they put everything together, got a nice break early on. Good goal from Zach Mathers. Little fortunate in that goal, but they've shown a lot of attacking spirit, shown a lot of energy. But again, that goal has still been allowed in the first half, and they find themselves equal here. But they've got the tools, they've got the players to put things together in the second half and make a difference. Reno, on the other hand, still look pretty comfortable. They were able to take that onslaught in the first bit and got an equalizer. They've got to be happy.
We'll take a break here at Starfire Sports Stadium in Tequila. Your score at the half, Sounders 2-1, Reno 1868 1.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
here is my handle, and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Through 45 minutes, we are level at Starfire Sports Stadium in Tequila, Washington. 1 goal apiece between Seattle Sounders FC2 and Reno 1868 FC. Hello, everyone. Welcome back in. Andrew Harvey alongside Aaron Heinzen. And Aaron, let's get right into it. Eventful end-to-end soccer in the first half. Let's take a look at our first half highlights.
Okay. Well, Sounders, too, we know they started off real well. Here it is, Zach Mathers with that free kick. This is 30 seconds into the game. Ball flies through traffic. Goalkeeper Matt Bersano can't see it. Goal S2. Great start from them. This is some replies here from Reno. This is that attempt early on, but Richards can't get control of it. Knocks it over. Here's Felix Chenkum driving forward. None of these really troubling either of the goalkeepers, but it was end-to-end stuff, especially in the first 20 minutes of the half. Now here's Reno's goal. This one just goes right into the crowd, falls to Brown. And again, taking a look, Tyler Miller just trying to reach over Sam Rogers and Denzel Ulysses. Can't get his hands on it. Reno go level. And that is where we stand right now.
And of course, level at 1-1, but it could have been slightly worse.
Yeah, Tyler Miller having to come out of his box. And this effort from Reno, again, just off the top. I thought this was going to be a goal. It's excellent work from Weehan. Falls to Fernandez, and he can't put it on target. So Reno with a couple of pretty big chances. S2 have had their chances as well, but Reno slowly worked their way into this game. They had that horrible start. Were under a lot of pressure in the first 20 minutes, and then finally kind of played their way back into the game, and that is a team playing with confidence, and they know if they just stick to what they can do, they were able to pull something off, and they've got a big asset on the bench as well.
Absolutely. Dane Kelly, 16 goals to his name. I mean, we can ask what kind of impact is he going to have, but we know. My question instead is, how quickly are you going to see him if this stays at 1-1?
I would say probably 30 minutes, that type of player. Just give him a chance to play into the game, see how the pressure goes. This is a good opportunity for Brown if they can pick something else up, but he's obviously a player who can open up the back line, and what I mean by that is he makes all kinds of runs in behind the back line. He picks his spaces out on the wings. He hides in areas that players don't expect, and he has great control on the ball. You know, Jamaica just called him up into the senior national team. They recognize that he's got some real quality. So, and obviously he's been a real force in this league the last few years. So, S2 know who he is. They've been getting ready for him, and I'll be very, very surprised if when he subs in, these players don't take a big notice.
For S2, if you're Ezra Hendrickson talking to the squad right now in the dressing room, what are you saying to get them motivated, get their heads right, and what has to happen differently to climb back on top?
Well, I think for S2, you know, again, we saw the same wonderful start. First 20, 25 minutes, they're all over them, all over Reno, playing well and defending well. And then Reno, as we talked about, slowly got back into things and finally got the goal they needed. S2 had a couple responses. The biggest thing for me is Zach Mathers running around, putting pressure on players. Felix Chenkum doing the same thing. They need that kind of thing to continue. We haven't seen much from Denzel Ulysses on that right-hand side. If they can get him, involved more, that would be a positive. Same with Steve White, the outside backs a little bit more. Ray Sari, obviously it's tough losing Callum Malice so early to injury. So Lorenzo Ramos, he's going to need to help Ray Sari in supporting the center backs, especially when the likes of Dane Kelly comes on, which we're assuming he will. So all those aspects. But bottom line, really, the players just need to put it out on the line, fight for every ball. You know, the basic things. Make sure that you get tackles in. Take your chances. Be calm. All that kind of stuff. But S2, no, there's this 45 minutes to get 3 points. Your opportunity is now. It's not gonna come later. It's now or never, basically.
All right. Well, one man I'm sure S2 would love to have in the 18 tonight and for the rest of the season, but won't be able to, is Irvin Parra. Been with the S2 for so long, and he's left the club.
Yeah, Irvin Parra and the club came to agreement. He's just had his second child down in L.A., and the team decided that, you know, just for humanity reasons, I guess is the way Ezra Hendrickson put it, that it would be better for him to go down and be there with his wife and his family. So he is down now and is signed with Orange County SC. It's a big loss, though, for S2, a player with 6 goals and 6 assists. You know, whether he's starting or whether he can come off the bench, he's a kind of a game-changing kind of player. He's a little bit like a Brian Brown. He holds the ball up, quick, skillful, can change a game. So it's a big loss for S2, but exciting for him and his family. A second child, and to be down there playing his trade with Orange County. Wish him all the best, but it's a tough loss for S2 for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we wish Irvin Parra all the best, but let's take a look at some of those first half stats. You see here, pretty even on both sides, Aaron.
Yeah, you can see 70% passing accuracy on both sides. The possession, of course, more with S2. They had that fantastic 25-minute start, I would say, but it only counts at the top, 1-1. And S2 just maybe create a couple more chances in the second half, finish those things off, and they could be away. But it's going to be a tough ask because Reno are a very organized side, and they have that ability to get you on that counterattack through Weehan, through Brown, and, of course, we're assuming through Kelly.
Well, very quickly, Aaron, as we come back and prepare to break here, in a couple sentences or less, what has to happen the first 15 minutes for S2?
Just go straight at him. Come right out, put pressure on Reno, try and lock him down, try and get a corner kick, try and cause something to happen right off the bat, just like they did in the first half, but don't lose focus.
Well, there you have it. We're level at 1 goal apiece. Second half action. Is there a winner? We'll find out next.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Moments away from the second half kickoff here between the Sounders FC2 and Reno 1868 FC. We're a level, 1 goal apiece. Zach Mathers put S2 on top in the first. And then in the 38th off a corner kick, Brian Brown notched the equalizer. Andrew Harvey alongside Aaron Heinzen. And Aaron, you get the feeling that there's still a lot left to see in this match.
Certainly, S2 know they need a result. Need to go out and try and find it. Henry Wingo still brings a lot on that right-hand side, as I mentioned at halftime. Denzo Ulysses getting a little more involved in there, but they have plenty of attacking options, S2. Of course, they still have Shea Adekoya and Javorn Stevens on the bench as well.
And they are joined by Charles Rankin, Guy Edowa, Brian Nanasinkum. Lorenzo Ramos forced into the match in the 40th minute to replace an injured Callum Malice. For the visitors, the bench consists of Seth Kasipli, Mark Pelosi, Darwin Espinal, Lindo Mfeka, Mac Freedom, and of course, Dane Kelly. 16 goals, 3 assists for him this season.
And that Darwin Espinal scored a fantastic goal that got the game winner earlier in the week at Los Dos 2 down in LA. Really nice right foot bender around the goalkeeper. Plenty of attacking options for Ian Russell in there.
Now, much tighter game against Los Dos. Last time down on the road, the first matchup between them this season finished 9-0 in favor of Reno 1868 FC. Brian Brown is over the ball. Mike Hohenholtz set to blow the whistle to start the second 45 here. There it is, and, well, Brown wants to wrong foot everybody, and there we go. We are back underway at Starfire Stadium.
Talked about that quick start for S2. Can they get that done? There's Mathers closing Bersano down already, forcing him to go long.
Brown lifts his ball over. It's Hopino. Flag stays down for him. Hopino just had to hold up his run to try to pull down that awkward bounce off the turf. Sam Rogers does enough to get it away.
Great ball by Rogers. Just unleashed Olsen on the left-hand side.
Olsen waiting for some support here. He goes through, trying to cross on the ground. Had Wingo and Chenkum inside, but couldn't link up with either one of them. Rodrigue L., who is on a yellow card. And that time he is the victim of the foul by Brown.
Now, it's one thing we didn't touch on in halftime, Andrew, just as you see Rodrigue go down. Was caught from behind by Brown, but both Jimmy Ockford, center back for Reno, and Rodrigue L., center back for S2, on a yellow card, as you just mentioned. And Rodrigue L. was, I'll mention that more in a second.
This is Brown, Hopino to his right. Brown gets past L, but Ray Sorry able to fight his way onto that ball.
You can see, excuse me, Andrew, you can see Hopino was frustrated there. Brown probably should have put him through.
Henry Wingo seeing if he can make some magic happen. Shakes off a challenge from Fernandez. Back to Stephen White. Wingo is inverted over to the left side. Back to Sorry. Well, to turn our attention back to the thoughts on the cautions and the fouls. We had 17 of them total in the first half, Aaron.
Yeah, and as I was going to say, Rodrigue L. in the referee's, under the referee's whistle quite a bit in the first half, and I think just a couple more. It just really needs to be careful.
Through ball from Wingo, nutmegs his defender. Chris Wehan is there. Ramos trying to tie him up. Forced clearance gets out to Brown. Junior Burgos linking up with Brown. He and Eldu battle. Denzel Ulysses steps onto that ball.
Again, just another look at how difficult Brown is. Take the ball off him, so strong up there. This is a nice job, almost gets out of that.
Sam Rogers going to take the space given to him. Goes up to White. White turns. Has some space here. Sends in an early ball that's going to find Henry Wingo in the far alley. Back for Ulysses. S2 looking for an alley. Ramos. He's forced to retreat.
Better though, a little bit more from Ulysses on this right-hand side.
Ramos tied up and dispossessed. It's Matt LaGrassa. His pass for Brown is intercepted. Sam Rogers takes a big step. And the whistle did not quite go. Advantage being played here. It's going to find Denzel Ulysses in the right alley. Ulysses, an early cross. Far side, David Olson gets a header to it. But it's an easy pop-up for Matt Persano.
That stumble by Sam Rogers kind of threw everybody off as the ball just fell to Felix Jacob. Everybody thought the referee was going to blow his whistle. But that's better here from the right-hand side, especially from Denzel Ulysses. You've seen him a lot more active. His cross this time was just a little bit high for David Olson. But better from the right back for S2.
Well, we know Ray Sari is a stalwart defender. He's proved it throughout the season for S2, but can you tell us a little bit more about how much of that he's going to be forced to do, especially as Stephen White and Denzel Ulysses range downfield?
Well, it'll just be his job to sit in there and keep numbers back for S2 when those guys are going forward, which they're doing just about every time now. Part of the plan Ezra Hendrickson has for these guys. And you'll see Lorenzo Ramos do the same thing, just help out the center backs so they're not outnumbered if possession is lost. The problem comes, though, it's pretty obvious to say if both either Ray or Lorenzo make a bad pass, and we saw a couple times in the first half. Callum Malice gave it away a couple times, and Ray had one or two bad passes, but that can really, really cause problems.
Here's Brenton Griffiths. He wants Brown on the inside. Falls through for White. Ockford. LaGrassa up for Brown. Hopino. Fernandez. Burgos. Hopino outside for Fernandez. Fernandez room toward the byline. It took a unfriendly deflection for him though, and it's out for a Sounders goal kick. And once again to the chagrin of Antoine Hopino.
Yeah, he's just not getting any of the calls that he wants so far. Maybe one or two he might have had a argument.
Sorry. A deft first touch. Thought about teeing up David Olson. Rebound falls for Stephen White. White for Olson. Olson going to take on Richards here. Low cross. Lorenzo Ramos off the left foot. He can't make good contact. Denzel Ulysses toward the byline. Spinning cross. Once again, nobody's home at the back post. Zach Mathers working quickly from long range, and that one well wide for a goal kick.
Good effort again from Denzel Ulysses. Crosses just a little bit too much on it, but Mathers again. Nice little combination, the top of the box, and his shot just wide of that near post. Reno definitely know the situation Sounders 2 are in right now. They're going to just try and sit back, take some of this pressure, and catch them on the counterattack again if they can.
Ball's gone out for a Reno throw off the back of Henry Wingo. Jordan Murrell. Back for Griffiths. Richards. One away by S2. And one back by Reno. Fernandez, Burgos, and lost out of play. But it sure seems like we're seeing a lot of interceptions for both teams right at the edge of their defensive third, Aaron.
Yeah, toughest part to break through, and both teams are doing a good job defensively, cutting things out.
Sounders 2 going for the 3 yards in a cloud of dust philosophy, working some some throw-ins on the far side there. Miller, ball spinning toward the near sideline. Wingo and Merle go up. Wingo can't bring it down. Sounders faithful, still very loud and motivated, trying to keep the squad the same. Ball headed toward the far sideline. Richards gives chase. Has to zigzag the ball down to Denzo Ulisi. Another risky looking back pass. Tyler Miller read that one all the way. Chenkum will give chase. And the flag stays down as he gets involved with the play. Back pass to Bersano, who's under some pressure here. He goes to Richards. And Richards forced to concede the ball into touch. Tough to tell from how far back the ball was struck, but it sure looked like Reno might have had a case for Chenkum being a couple yards downfield there.
Yeah, it's well done by Chenkum to be alert like that. Just try and get in between the defenders. His first touch let him down a little bit.
Here's Hopino. He's past his defender. Inside the box, defender's closing down. His cross is cut away by Sam Rogers.
Excellent work by Sam Rogers. Had to get that touch on there to cut off that pass.
Ray Sari running through a couple of challenges there. Ramos up for Chenkum. Lunging leg from Griffiths, can't get the ball. Wingo has Ulisi to his right. Sorry, Stephen White making a run out left. He'll be rewarded with a pass. Now the cross. Bersano off his line. He elects to punch it away. Burgos turns off Ray Sari. Probably was hoping he had Brian Brown in the general vicinity. As Brown's proven tonight, that's all he really needs to be in to have a fighting chance to get to a long ball.
Now he won't mind that didn't connect his pass. Just a chance for Reno to reset. Again, it's an excellent cross in there by Stephen White.
Chip forward for Brown. Hard up for Weehan. Inside for Hopino. Back for Weehan. Flag is up for offside. Nice stop from Tyler Miller all the same.
Yeah, wouldn't have counted, of course, but what reflexes from Miller, just showing some of the class that he's got. This is a nicely worked, though, by Weehan. Just a little touch. Hopino finds him back, just wrong side Sam Rogers. How about that from Miller? Stands up strong. So difficult sometimes. A goalkeeper won't see any action for 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 minutes, and then to make a save like that. It's well done by Tyler Miller.
Sounders head coach Brian Schmetzer, always very quick to give credit for the goalkeeper's success at every level of the program to goalie coach Tommy Dutra. When I asked about how he helps develop goalies, he just says, oh, I just give them to Tommy and trust that they're going to turn out all right.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting positions that just no one else plays on the field. Has to have its own individual coaching staff. And a lot of head coaches absolutely have to trust that that will be the case.
Olsen. Long switch over to Ulisi. He makes a move inside Weehan. Denzo Ulisi laid the through ball off for Henry Wingo. And another miscommunication costs S2.
Well, it was a nice run by Denzel Ulysses. Henry Wingo, though, wasn't along with him. Just one of those cases of youth getting you, wanted the play to happen, wanted it to happen, but it just was not there. Excellent work, though, from Denzel to get inside his man.
Flick on header from Brown. Looks like he might have tangled a little bit with Rodriguez L as they went up for that header. Thrown in, Tyler Miller under pressure. Clears the ball past midfield. Leaping header won by Brent Richards. Wanted a free kick, claimed that Olsen undercut him, but Olsen didn't move. Shankham. Henry Wingo. Wingo thinking about a shot. That's deflected by Merle. Ulysses. Wingo. Mathers going back for Wingo. He ties up with Merle. And it's out for a goal kick.
Nice move between Wingo and Mathers. Little give and go, but it was so deep. Here it is again. Just dishes this one off. You can see how deep he is, though, and it's well read by Merle. He knows exactly what's happening. It's always going to be very difficult to get there. Mathers would have had to put that on an absolute dime in order for Henry Wingo to get a chance to get in there, but that's what Ezra Hendrickson wants. Henry Wingo using that pace, going at that back line and causing problems.
Wingo, another player who had his season kind of uprooted by a couple of injuries that have really kept him from getting into a run of form, but if he could here late on, how big would that be? But Weehan goes down there, got tripped up, then a second ball came in. Rodriguez L kind of went to clear it right as the whistle was being blown, caught a bit of Weehan in the result. And now you're going to see a lot of Reno players around referee Mike Holmholtz.
Yeah, players are arguing that foul on Sorry, of course, and then the second ball from Rodriguez L, but there's nothing he could do. He's just stepped in to play it, and Weehan happened to be in the way. Here it is again. Here's Weehan. Gets tripped up by Sorry there, and you can see just, well, I think they're arguing now for the follow-through there from L, but doesn't look like there was much in that.
Well, certainly you've seen yellow cards given.
Certainly
for
have.
less than that.
Certainly have.
Certainly for that.
Possibility.
We'll get one here.
Absolutely a possibility, but I think there's always that extra weight of that second yellow card, and referees want to keep everybody on the field. And
ball in from Burgos toward the back post. Miller goes up, punches, keeps his feet. David Olsen coming the other way as we pass the hour mark at Starfire Stadium. Olsen ahead for Shankham. Tried to go quickly inside for Wingo, but is dispossessed. Ramos wins it back. Olsen back up for Wingo, and Wingo couldn't even get free of his defender to turn and touch that ball. Now a big switch looking for Denzel Ulysses. Certainly looked like it might have come off of Ulysses' arm. Play continues. Mathers back for Ulysses toward the byline. That's a low cross. Ulysses can't get the connection. Awkward clearance and a slicing effort from Felix Shankham. Out for a goal kick.
It's good work from S2. Things maybe just a little hurried here. Denzel Ulysses does not get much on that cross. It's a poor clearance from Griffiths. Shankham just kind of slices at it. Never on target, never troubling.
Well, it looks like Ian Russell has seen enough. He's going for the double substitution now. And he is inserting Dane Kelly and Mark Pelosi, removing, looked like it was Brian Brown who's going over.
Looks like it's going to be Fernandez.
Luis Fernandez stepping off now. But Pelosi and, like we said, Dane Kelly, 16 goals, 3 assists. Ian Russell wants to put this game to bed in the final 30 minutes. As you predicted, Aaron.
Well, you got to give a striker some time to get used to it out there, and Brian Brown's just going to slot out onto the wing on the left-hand side. Weehan will drop into the midfield. Well, he's already in the midfield, but he'll head centrally there. excuse me. Pelosi's going to go out onto the left for the moment anyways. Mark Pelosi, another interesting player, huge youth U.S. international at all levels, 17s, 20s, the 23s. Was at the Liverpool Academy.
LaGrassa trying to get that ball to Kelly. This is Pelosi. Sorry, Wingo. Mathers wants to go back to Wingo. Here's the pace of Henry Wingo in a foot race with Griffiths, and Griffiths shepherds that ball out of play.
I'm going to finish my thoughts on Pelosi. They're just a player with a lot of experience, had a bad injury at Liverpool, came back, joined San Jose, and now getting an opportunity to get some time here with Reno.
Seldom a clear path to the world of professional soccer, Aaron.
Wow, especially when you have big injuries like that, you just have to set the reset button. And unlucky for Pelosi, but good to see him back out on the field.
Olsen flick on header for White. White with some options here. Took too long to figure out what to do and turned over to Jimmy Ockford. Only as far as Olsen, and Ockford wins a foul off White.
Well, I thought White had Ockford there for a second. It was a great tackle, though, from Jimmy Ockford.
And that looks like the night for Felix Chankum is over. Shea Adekoya going to check in here in the 64th minute. Looking for his second goal of the season and hoping that it could be a big one here for S2.
Yeah, it would be a big one. Hasn't scored for a long time. Just one goal, as he said, so far this season for Shea Adekoya. It's a player that would love to put one into the back of the net for S2 tonight. As they say, all strikers need to score goals. You just see the pace that Adekoya has right away.
Pelosi and Denzel Ulysses do battle. Rogers clears up the result. It falls for Adekoya. Adekoya trying to get past Griffiths. Griffiths defending well here, ties him up. Fans back into the action. Ramos. Wingo. Most of his options are looking very stationary. This ball falls for Zach Mathers, through for David Olsen, and the flag is up for offside.
Good idea from Mathers. Pass was never going to get there anyways, but just a little too hard.
Looping kick over the top. L turns under pressure. Ulysses taking space on the near sideline. Tried to go inside. It's deflected. LaGrassa. Ulysses slides in. Jordan Merrill keeps his feet. Pelosi. Dane Kelly. Ball winds up just out of play, and it's gone out for a Reno corner kick. We couldn't quite see, just like you couldn't due to the flags right there. But a corner here for Reno.
You know, Rodriguez went down and looked like he was hoping to get a foul and doesn't get the call. Looks like Weehan's going to take this.
Ball in from the near side, headed toward goal, and that one looks like it might have been stopped cold on the line. It rebounded off a couple players in the box, definitely hit Denzel Ulysses, and Miller stopped it. Now he's thrown it forward for Shea Adekoya. Adekoya drifts outside, going to hold up the ball here, double teamed, and it's turned over. Adekoya fighting his way back on the ball, chips it inside for Mathers. Mathers back for Wingo. Wingo lining up a shot back out for Mathers. Mathers toward his left. The shot is deflected. Mathers stays down, hoping to get a call, and it's cleared away to Dane Kelly. But opportunities at both sides, Aaron.
Wow, a lot to digest there. Again, going back to the Reno set pieces have been very impressive tonight. Couple of things at the back post. Then they got the goal by going direct. This was another near post one. Looked like it was designed. I think it's the first time we've seen Wehan take a corner kick, but Dean Kelly just comes straight across, and I think Denzel Ulysses, obviously, and both he and Miller had a part in that save. Great recognition by Miller to try and release Shea Adekoya. It was just blocked off by the Reno defense. Good reaction, though, from S2.
Merle, meanwhile, going through over the top. It's Brian Brown. Brown trying to get onto his right foot. He's tied up with Sam Rogers. Still on the ball is Brown. He wanted to link up with Wehan. Olsen dispossessed at midfield. Olsen flailing around there, manages to clear the ball away. Mathers ties up LaGrassa. Kelly, he's dispossessed by Ramos. Thought about the quick through ball to Shea Adekoya. Jimmy Ockford read it all the way.
Well, the game right now is really at a frantic pace. You know, all credit to Ian Russell and Reno. They could easily just sit back and try and just play this game out. If they want these points, they're going for it. And S2, obviously, we talked about their situation.
Take another look at that save on the corner kick.
There's this ball in. Kelly just straight across. He's got both Lorenzo Ramos and Mathers on there, but you can see it strikes Denzel Ulysses. Ockford looking for a handball call, is not going to get it. Good work by Denzel Ulysses on that near post. That's what he's there for.
Could almost credit him with 2 team saves on that one. Good job by the young outside back to keep his his left tucked to his body like that. Adekoya and Ockford do battle once more. Ockford wins. We're in the 70th, level at 1 goal apiece here at Starfire Stadium. As this game gets later and later on, the chances keep getting more and more enticing. Big looping clearance from L. Openo goes down, and now he will get the whistle he's been looking for this evening.
Again, moment before that too, Rodrigo L living dangerously here. Dean Kelly approaching it, just gets a piece on that. If he gets that wrong. Well done by Rodrigo L.
Ray Sorry going to be moved back to 10 yards here.
Well, you can see he's talking to fourth official Kelsey Harms. I'm not exactly sure what it's about.
Kick on the way. David Olsen with a free header. Ray Sorry. Sorry's control gets away from him. Smash back in. Wingo. Short for Olsen. Back outside for Wingo. Didn't quite manage to collect the ball as he was trying to make a move against Merle there. Switch to the far side for White. Stephen White with the early cross. Knocked away by Ockford that time. Ramos, the give and go with Ray Sorry. Sorry, Mathers, Ray Sorry. Henry Wingo, that ball toward, and shot and deflected off the foot of Ramos. Jimmy Ockford once more getting involved. Ray Sorry trying to send the ball toward net.
Great ball movement there. Ray Sorry in the middle of that. That's a huge stop by Reno's Jimmy Ockford. Just steps in front of it at the last second.
This ball wide for Pelosi and the flag up on the far sideline.
And again, you could just see Pelosi trying to float off the shoulder of Denzel Ulysses. Take a look again. Sorry, this was that switch ball out onto the right. Here's Henry Wingo just trying to put it across. Olsen sets it, and that's that stop right there from Jimmy Ockford. Lorenzo Ramos had enough power on that.
Meanwhile, it's a long ball over the top. Dane Kelly gives chase. Kelly, that ball takes an awkward poke. I think that came off the foot of Sam Rogers. Definitely not an intentional back pass. So Miller more than safe to collect it. And like you mentioned, you're seeing Dane Kelly cause some moments of concern for that center back duo.
You can tell he's not afraid to mix things up. The pass from Lorenzo Ramos is off. Not afraid to mix things up with center backs. Will float out on either side. Forward that causes a back line all kinds of trouble.
And we are going to see David Olson step off here to be replaced by Guy Edewa in the 73rd minute.
Well, the young Cameroonian, 20 years old. Another player that's looking to open up his S2 account. He's got some serious speed as well. So Shea Adekoya, Henry Wingo, and Guy Edewa. It's a very fast attacking three.
LaGrassa, quick switch over for Hopino. Richards. Stephen White blasts that ball away.
There's Mathers tracking again. Do both sides.
Brown. LaGrassa. Merle making a run up the left side. LaGrassa can't get it over the head of Denzo Ulysses. Worth mentioning, of course, Aaron, that due to the injury to Callum Malice in the first half, Sounders too have exhausted all their substitutions. So the 11 that are out there will be the 11 the rest of the way, unless it winds up being the 10. Sorry, ahead for Adekoya. He goes short back to the inside, but doesn't have anyone making a run. Bersano forced to pull back under pressure from Sorry. Cleared up to Weehan. Weehan and White tie up. Well, now you see Reno more than content to let S2 chase this game. They know the home side needs the result much more badly.
Well, I think they also just, the game couldn't keep the pace that it was going, so had to slow down at some point.
This is Wingo. Wingo into the area, onto his left foot. Griffiths just runs him right out of an angle for a shot.
That was nicely tracked by Griffiths. Henry Wingo can beat you on both sides, left and right footed, and Griffiths stayed right with him the whole time.
15 minutes and change to go here. Brent Richards doing battle with Guy Edewa. Edewa wins. And now both players wind up on the deck. Which way will Mike Hohenholtz point? It will be in favor of Reno. Boy, that kind of a situation where it seemed like both guys were given as good as they got.
Yeah, it's tough to see. They were on that far side of the field. Both players looked like they were wrapping up. It's just maybe who started it first. They both have a hold of each other here. I don't know. I honestly have no idea, Andrew. I mean, it's difficult. Both guys are making huge contact. Tough to call.
This is Hopino. He wants to go over the middle looking for Kelly. Kelly gets a touch to the ball. Still standard stuff for Tyler Miller. Miller toward Edewa. Richards wins the header. And already it kind of looks like from the way they're putting shoulders into one another, there's no love lost between Brent Richards and Guy Edewa. Adekoya goes down there. That'll win a free kick. Mathers thinking about a quick restart. Next one for Ray Sorry. Sorry up for White. White, space for a cross into the middle. Too far. Cleared away at the back post by Pelosi. Only as far as Ramos. Weehan gets the ball and the free kick. The fans will complain, but from the way Weehan got to that ball and then got cleaned out, that's a pretty easy decision for the referee.
Yeah, I think it's a fair call. That going back to that cross there by Stephen White, he's put that ball the last few times on that back post, and there just hasn't been anybody there. Players are trying to get to it, but Maybe White serving it just a second, second too early, but players have to know that, have to learn some of the traits. I know this is only his third game for White.
Wingo. Wingo with some space here. Thinking about a shot. Another timely challenge from Griffiths. Settled by Mathers. Mathers pulled outside to the byline for Ulysses. Ulysses spins across to the back post. Brent Richards forced to concede the corner.
Well done again by Denzel Ulysses. Mathers tees him up perfectly. Here it is again, just rolls away from his defender. Nicely weighted pass, and Ulysses, this is a much better cross head height than Brent Richards. That's all he can do there.
79 minutes in. Zach Mathers ready to serve in this ball from the far side. Low ball coming inside. Guillotte gets a header to it. That one got punched away from the frame of net. Couldn't quite tell if that ball was on goal, but it certainly looked like it. S2 still on the front foot. Ray Sari draws out Dane Kelly. Sari toward the back post, headed away by Griffiths. Winning out against Sam Rogers, and now Pelosi has some space.
Oh, Sari, a lucky man to get out of that. I thought for a second it was going to get caught under his feet. Does nicely to do so. I think that header by Etowah hit Bersano right in the chest, or he was able to get his hands up. Have to take another look at it in a second.
Rogers into the middle for Adekoya. Adekoya trying to back off Pelosi, and that will win another free kick.
Well, Adekoya, here's the look at this corner. There's Etowah's header just straight. Oh, right in the face of Brent Richards. That's what it was. Taking one for the team there for the right back. Nicely done by him.
Now, you mentioned him earlier. Here comes Darwin Espinal for Chris Wehan.
And Espinal's just going to slide out on that left-hand side, and Pelosi will now go in the middle where Wehan was. But he scored a cracking goal, Espinal, against LA, as I mentioned.
Rodrigue L. Up for Denzel Ulysses. Ulysses thought about trying a pass, tried to stop himself at the last minute. Instead, it's a turnover to Pelosi. Espinal, who just checked in and still looking to get his feet about him a little bit. 80 minutes gone, 10 and change to go. We're level, 1 goal apiece here at Starfire Stadium.
Be interesting to see if S2 change things up with a few minutes to go, maybe throw a center back forward or somebody just to get balls up there. Certainly don't want to do that too early, but maybe with the stoppage time to go or a minute or two left in regulation, see if they can't nick a goal.
Sorry. Near side for Ulysses. Wingo. 3 defenders shading toward him. Moreno still keeping a pretty high back line here late on. They want to force those long balls out of S2, it seems.
Well, they're content to put some pressure on them as long as there's pressure on the ball.
Ray Sari took that directly upstairs from Antoine Hopinot. He's going to try to get back to his feet, the man in the captain's armband. Looks like he's a little bit unsteady here.
Yeah, trainer Joe Montgomery's grabbing onto his arm now. Just take a look here. Got an all ball there just on the back of his head. What might have raised a little bit of concern in Joe Montgomery is the way Ray Sari got up. He just looked a little bit confused. As you know, Andrew, in this day and age, the head injuries being such a big deal.
Rightly so, you know, regardless of the final score line and whether you're able to continue or whether there are substitutes or not, you only get one brain. It looks like Ray Sari might come off for a minute. Well, has to, because Joe Montgomery came on to check him. Keep an eye on him on the sideline. Play restarted by Reno.
And the change here is Mathers, of course, will just drop back and help out Lorenzo Ramos a little bit.
Thrown into Pelosi. Sounders 2 playing with 10 men at the moment as Ray Sari is on the far sideline being evaluated. Jimmy Ockford. Grassa. Space starting to open up now. Ramos ahead for Adekoya. Adekoya gets a touch to it. Might have had a case for a foul had he had a teammate in the vicinity of that pass. That ball out of play for an S2 throw-in. Well, Ray Sari is walking toward the midway line. He's going to go talk to fourth official Kelsey Harms and get back on the pitch. Guy Edowa, meanwhile, down the sideline. Edowa spinning a ball in, and that's going to force another conceded corner kick, that time by Griffiths.
It's great fight and great strength from Guy Edowa on that left-hand side. This is some of the best we've seen him play since he's come here to Seattle. Always takes some time to get adjusted for the Cameroonian. He fights his way through 2 tackles. Gets off a decent cross, but now has got a corner kick for his team.
Kick will be taken from the near side by Mathers. Low ball coming inside. That bounces through a sea of bodies. Ray Sari gives chase to the far sideline. Rodriguez L. Brian Brown coming to apply the pressure, goes forward for Ramos. Over for Mathers. Mathers wins a throw-in, quickly takes it. Ramos back in for Mathers. Mathers upended there by a challenge by Mark Pelosi. And the card quickly out of the referee's pocket. Pelosi will join Jimmy Ockford in the book 85 minutes in.
Well, Pelosi just catches Mathers. I mean, maybe taking a touch too many there, Zach Mathers, for the spot that he was in, but some really nice footwork from him to get out of that pressure. There he is again. Mathers just, Lorenzo Ramos tapping it to him, puts it through the legs there of LaGrassa, then tries the same thing again. Pelosi just throws his hip into him.
Free kick on the ground from Mathers, finds Henry Wingo. Wingo a touch toward the byline. Keeps that ball in play. Cuts back. Ball served across the face of net and cleared away by Brent Richards. Richards went to a knee to stop that ball cold. Wingo keeps it in play. Inside for Ramos. Ramos tried to pick out Sam Rogers, couldn't find him. Now it's Dane Kelly.
I thought Lorenzo Ramos was going to pick that far post there.
Into space for Espinal. Rodriguez L closing down. Espinal to his right. Kelly. Kelly space for a shot and forces a diving stop out of Tyler Miller. And it's gone out for a corner.
It's almost a carbon copy of the goal that Espinal scored in LA, just driving in on his right-hand side. This time he picks out Kelly and shows why he scores goals. Just a quick turn from the Jamaican, fires it low. Tyler Miller does so well to get that left hand there. It's hard to tell from that angle whether that was creeping in, but it was really close.
So Miller's done his part to keep it level. Now it's the 87th.
And again, question marks in the S2's defense. What are Reno going to do here?
Low ball in to the near post, and Tyler Miller looking a bit like a shortstop coming off his line and just diving on that ball. He's going to play quickly. Edowa and Adekoya downfield. Edowa's going to go down. He's being waved back to his feet after tying up with Espinal. Ball comes through for Hopino. Wingo. Brown over to Richards. And up for Pelosi. Pelosi run off the ball by Ray Sari. And that ball conceded out the far sideline. Restarted to Richards. Richards past Sari. And a eventually lost to S2.
Adequate, just unable to keep that ball there. Physically, just has to hold on to it better.
Goes inside for Henry Wingo. Wingo being chased by Espinal and LaGrassa. Absorbs a couple tugs on the jersey. He's out into the left alley. Short inside for Mathers. Mathers trying to turn against Griffiths. And boy, Brenton Griffiths has been ironclad for this back line all game long for Reno.
Yeah, very well defended again by Griffiths. Just gets a foot in there. Thought Mathers was going to first time it. But he doesn't. He had Wingo coming across him.
Adekoya ahead for Etowah. Etowah gets the edge on Jimmy Ockford. He'll hold up looking for support. Mathers coming top side. Etowah lobs it over to Wingo. First touch to control. Wingo. Over for Ramos. That ball slips through. It's still Ramos. Mathers going back through looking for Ramos and cut back out.
Again, another solid clearance by Griffiths. This is looking positive though from S2. Still can carve out another chance here, no doubt.
Big Sam Rogers out wide for Stephen White. White, another high ball to the back post, and that forces a conceded corner. Jordan Merrill must not have heard his teammates calling him, but there was no one in the area.
And again, White picking out that far post. I think this time, to be fair to his teammates, there was just nobody going to be making that run at this point.
Zach Mathers quickly taking ball. And that was Griffiths once more heading that ball free. 90th minute here at Starfire Stadium, 1-1. Denzel Ulysses serves that ball to the end line.
Well, we're in that time now that I was talking about earlier, Andrew. Are S2 going to switch this up at all to try and pick up some points? Same back line, same formation. It's been good pressure from them, but we just need one more body in that box. Of course, you do not want to concede anything, and that's always a worry, but get these points at home would be big.
LaGrassa gets to that header. Denzel Ulysses can't get it past Pelosi. Pelosi still on the ball now. 2 minutes of added time will play. Pelosi goes to ground here, and that's going to be a free kick for the visitors.
Well, that's well done by Pelosi. Just gets his body in front of Lorenzo Ramos. Ramos takes him down from behind, and now it's a huge free kick chance. Chris Weehan's been subbed off, so he won't be taking it. Might be a little bit of discussion here about who does. Take another look at it. Here's Pelosi just getting in front. Looks like he kind of throws his body into Lorenzo Ramos, to be fair. Nonetheless, free kick here for Reno in a dangerous area.
Brian Brown is over the ball. So is Antoine Hopino. And so is Darwin Espinal, who you mentioned can hit a ball with a pretty nasty curve.
Yeah, he's got that right foot bending ability. This is right about in his range as well.
Espinal and Brown. It's Brown. He goes for goal. He misses wide of the left post, but that ball looked like it was bound for the net.
That was a nice hit by Brown. Gets it over the wall. Again, it's hard to tell from these angles how close that is. Not much time left here for S2 if trying to get something.
Smash downfield by Miller. White. Kitchen sink time for S2, throwing everything forward. Henry Wingo brings that ball down. Tied up by Espinal. Espinal wins the ball cleanly. Is there one more attack in this for Reno? Sliding challenge wins the ball back by Zach Mathers. Ulysses. Henry Wingo lining up the cross to the back post. It's over the head of Guy Etowah, who can direct it back into the middle, but not down. Pelosi chips it away from Stephen White. Ryan Brown, Etowah, a touch to control. Guy Etowah taking on a defender. He's going to shoot. That ball comes off of Matt Bersano, and it's out for a corner.
That's excellent work from Etowah. What a tackle by Zach Mathers. That's showing the drive and desire to try and keep things going here for S2. Here's Etowah. Just waiting for that time, finds a little bit of space.
Kick quickly taken by Mathers, served into the middle. Man goes down in the box, not going to get the call, but the whistle will blow 3 times to signify the end of the match. And this one finishes 1-1 between Reno and Sounders 2.
Sorry, Andrew. Yeah, that was a quick take. I was still looking at the replay. S2 knows it was close. They had some excellent pressure here in the last 15 minutes of the game. It's a good result for Reno. They know they were under the gun at the last few minutes, but S2 gave it everything, just didn't go their way. Dan, you have to think about a lot of those crossing chances. Sometimes players just weren't there. Timing wasn't always right, but worked very hard. Just wasn't able to bounce their way, and they can pick up from this. They didn't absolutely have to win tonight. It would have been really nice. Obviously, we've talked about their road trip, but they'll pick up and try it again for next week against Colorado.
Well, the pressure will be on. 2 home games left for Sounders 2, at home against Colorado Springs and then against Phoenix before 3 on the road to close out the season. We will have those games for you here, but that will do it for us tonight. Your final score between Reno 1868 and Sounders FC 2, 1 goal apiece. For Aaron Heinzen and all of us here at Bootstrappers Productions, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.